vaikuṇṭhaḥ puruṣaḥ prāṇaḥ prāṇadaḥ praṇavaḥ pṛthuḥ hiraṇyagarbhaḥ śatrughnō vyāptō vāyuradhōkṣajaḥ.
Vaikuṇṭhaḥ. We know that Lord Vishnu dwells in Vaikuṇṭha. Vaikuṇṭha is not a city or a palace up above the clouds. It represents a state within ourselves. Similarly, so also Kailasa. We make it into a city or a dwelling place up above the clouds. That is because we need something very, very substantial support for our mind to contemplate on the Lord or invoke the Lord. So it's fine. But actually, what does it mean? The word Vaikuṇṭha itself, has it got any meaning? Vaikuṇṭha means that which is flawless. Absolutely no defects, absolutely no flaws. So there are no limitations, there are no conditioning, there are no shortcomings. Therefore, it represents the state of absolute perfection. Where is the state of absolute perfection? It's not somewhere out there, which we will reach in space and in time. But on realization, a person reaches that state here and now. So that is what Vaikuṇṭha represents. So it's not somewhere there, it's within us. It represents the state of absolute perfection. No imperfections at all there. At the mortal level, we have defects, we have shortcomings, limitations, conditioning, flaws, all of them at the mortal level, mortal plane of existence. But in that realm, which is represented by Brahman, that's a state which is the state of absolute perfection. So that is what Vaikuṇṭha means. Vaikuṇṭha also means that which integrates. Normally at our level we always see only differences. Even if there is something integrating over there, some two factors integrating, coming together, merging together, that's the nature of the mind. We always tend to disintegrate. We always tend to separate. We see always separateness everywhere. We see always differences everywhere. But in that higher state, everything gets beautifully merged. They integrate. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Vaikuṇṭhaḥ, one who brings together or unites things together. And we know the entire world of things and beings are made up of nothing but the 5 great elements, Panchamahabhutas: earth, water, fire, air and space. So therefore, he who unites these factors, each one of them is so different from the other, gross to subtle. None of the properties of one of them is similar to the other. But still, somewhere, at some point of time, they all unite together. Water and fire at our level will never unite together. Where fire is, water cannot be. Where water is, fire cannot be. But there, even when we talk about Indraloka, where all the gods are sitting, we find the presiding deity of fire next to the presiding deity of water, which means they align beautifully together. In the ocean, which is nothing but water, constituted of water, we have warm currents at a very large scale. Because ocean, we know, is very, very expansive. So as we go from a limited area to a relatively expansive area, we find many things coming together. So in the beginning we study, even in science, we study everything separate, electricity separate, magnetism is separate. Then even when we come to other branches, biology is separate, chemistry is separate, mathematics is separate, all different branches of knowledge. And we feel there is no relation between them. But then slowly they come together. Electromagnetism, magnetic effect of current. So 2 different aspects which we study in the beginning or in the earlier classes. Magnetism and electricity, do they have anything in common? But they merge together. Similarly, biophysics, physical chemistry. So as we move higher and higher, Within ourselves, we find everything very beautifully converging over there, integrating over there. Absolutely no differences at all. That's the state of Vaikuṇṭha. So when we reach that higher state beyond which there is nothing higher, it must be a one without a second state. So there it is only one. So therefore all differences have all very beautifully come together, not only come together and align themselves harmoniously, but they merge into one another and become the one. That is the state which is here indicated by the term vaikuṇṭhaḥ. One more meaning is there. Vaikuṇṭhaḥ means he is the one, the Lord, because already we have seen he is our guide, he is our path, he is the one who is going to lead us also on the path. He is the goal, everything he is. So Vaikuṇṭha also means he is the one who prevents us from going astray, from taking to the path of adharma. We are supposed to be walking the path of dharma, to reach God who stands for dharma. Dharma represents him. So when we want to reach him who is represented by the term dharma, we have to walk the path of dharma. We can't take the path of adharma and hope to reach him. So who is the one who is going to put us always on the right track and put us on the path of dharma? He is the one. So it can be from outside, indications can come to us, advice can come to us, wherein somebody tells us, look, you are not on the right path, I think you must do this and you must not do that. It's Bhagavan himself in some form indicating to us, advising us. And sometimes even our own inner voice will tell us, I think you are wrong. You want to do this, but you shouldn't be doing this. What you want to do now is adharma. It's not right. So something in us tells us, very often we feel that I was about to do this which was wrong. Something in me pulled me back and put me onto the right track. Who is it? The Lord himself. So whether we get indications from outside or whether we get indications from inside, ultimately it's a Lord who is very beautifully taking us step by step towards him. So vaikuṇṭhaḥ, puruṣaḥ, I think in the second stanza itself this nama of the Lord had come. So we just go through it briefly. Puruṣaḥ, pura plus isha. Isha means the Lord, who is the controller, who directs, who commands. Where is he? He is in the pura. Pura means city. Which city are we talking about? We are all in a three-tier complex. We have three equipment, one packed into the other. It's like those set vessels. Three vessels packed one into the other. Center is the same. So the bigger vessel, immediately one more slips into it. And then there is a third one which again slips into it. We call it as set vessels. So here also we are a set equipment, the body, the mind and the intellect. Body is the outermost gross equipment. Then we know just behind it is our mind. Then just behind it is our intellect. All the three of them are termed as pura, city. Why are they termed as a city? Because in a city we all dwell and perform activities. We transact. So similarly, seated in the body, we transact. Seated or identified with the mind, we transact. There's a whole world outside over there for the physical body. With respect to the mind, we have a whole world of emotions. And the intellect, the whole world of knowledge, thoughts, values, so many things, data. So these three cities packed one into the other. All of them are made up of inert matter. Who enlivens them and makes them do whatever they are doing. Whether we are doing right or whether we are doing wrong, we won't go into that. But something is there which is enlivening and giving aliveness to these equipment which belong to the realm of matter, gross and subtle, and gives them dynamism and pushes them forward into activity. That is the Lord. So puruṣaḥ means one who is seated in the body. He is not just seated in us, he is seated everywhere. In our tradition, that is why everything is divinized. We take forests. One forest, there is a presiding deity. One tree, there is a presiding deity for every tree. will have its own presiding deity. Tree is like a city, complex city, because it's got so many parts. The roots are there, trunk, branches, sub branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, so many things are there. But there is somebody sitting inside it. So there is a whole city out there in one single tree, and there is Lord sitting inside it, dwelling inside it, giving life to the tree and make it do whatever it's supposed to do. Similarly, animals. Each animal we can take. We all human beings. Mountains. Amongst the mountains, Bhagavan says, I am the Himalaya. But every mountain range has got its own presiding deity. And we worship the deity. We revere and respect the deity. And ask him to give us path to move through his territory. It's not our territory, mountain range. So mountains, every forest, like I said, every tree, every area, space known to Mother Earth. There is a deity presiding over our entire country, world, yes, of course. Every country has. But in our country, we in our tradition, we have deified it and we revere it and respect it externally also. So there is, that is why we say Mother India, Bharat Mata. We deify it. So there is a Lord who is dwelling in this city, which is a city over there, the entire country, Bharat, and making it do whatever it's doing. There is life over there also. A country is not just made up of, according to us, inert, insentient deserts, mountains, rivers, forests, and whole lot of land, whether it is cultivated or whether it is otherwise. Everything is pulsating with life. Coming to our own state, each state has got its own deity, presiding deity. Even a Nagara Devata we say. City. Each city has got. Bangalore has got its own Nagara Devata. Names are given. She or he is supposed to look after the entire city and whoever is residing in the city. Every area will have its own presiding deity. All our homes have their own presiding deity. That is why we do the Griha Pravesham. Whom are we invoking? We are invoking the presiding deity of our Griha, home, so that everything in the house is fine for us when we are living. So micro to macro, individual to universal, all kingdoms, and mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom, the devatas, the rakshasas, all put together. For everything there is a Isha, a Lord, looking after the Pura, and therefore he is called as puruṣaḥ. The scope of how much we can interpret one Nama is vast. We are only going through it little fast. So puruṣaḥ, he is the one who enlivens. Then prāṇaḥ, prāṇadaḥ. We had gone through this in the 35th Sloka. It's repeating over here again. Prāṇa means life, life as such. Whenever somebody talks about our life, we say, tell me about your life. We have no knowledge of, first of all, what life is to tell somebody about our life. But then we do open our mouth and say something. We narrate something. What we are narrating or telling the other person is our life's experiences. We say, this is my name. I don't want your name. You are alive. Yes, I am alive. Life is there in you. Yes, we say. Then talk about that life. So that life is the puruṣaḥ who is there in each one of us, who can't be defined, who can't be described, but he is there in us. Without him, we can't function at all. But what we communicate to the other person over there when they ask something about our life is all the attachments over there. We are talking about our body, we are talking about our mind, we are talking about our intellect. We have a brilliant intellect, or I have a very dull intellect, I've got this much of knowledge, whatever it is. This is my name, this is my economical status, social status, I belong to this, kula, gotra, ityadi, state, country. These are all life's experiences and expressions. But life as such, what is it? That is the Lord who is there in us. Mukhya prana, they say. So the Lord, he is just there in us. And because of him, all the equipment that are there in us are functioning. He is the illuminator in us. That's why we call him as the light of consciousness. Life spark. Spark means light. These are all just terms to make us understand. There is no light inside like an oil bulb inside us. But we use the word light of consciousness. Why? With light we can see everything. With light we can transact. Similarly, when he is there, we can transact through our equipment. So he is the very life in us, who enlivens us and gives aliveness to every part of our body. When we say body, we think of it as a big body which we can, we can step onto the weighing machine and find out that weight. But what about all that it is, formed out of? Every tiny cell, and which we can't even see, and whatever is there inside the cell, every drop of blood, droplets, in and through everything there is life. Everybody can only see, or a doctor can only see the anatomical structure from the bone and the marrow in the bone up to the outer skin. Outer skin, inner skin, fat, flesh, muscle, veins, arteries, blood, bone, marrow. This is what is available outside. In and through them we can't see this prana, life functioning, life present there first, prana. And next nama, prāṇadaḥ. He is there in all of us, in every little part of us, from the minutest cell in us. What is there? Prana is there. What is it doing? It's giving life to the cell. It is making the cell alive. Then what happens? It functions. So prāṇadaḥ means he is the one who gives prana. He is not just sitting. Electricity is there. We know the electricity is there just behind those 3 or 2 holes in the socket over there. But we have no idea of its manifestations. So we have to plug in over there. Only when we plug in, we can see the manifestation of electricity. It looks like electricity is dynamic, because it's giving light to us. Somewhere the bulb is and somewhere the light is falling. It gives to us breeze, wind, fan revolving. It gives to us so many things. It looks like electricity is dynamic, but electricity is not dynamic. In electricity there is no light which is moving from one point to another. In electricity there is no breeze. Therefore it just is. In fact, we can never ever describe electricity, but we know it's a very powerful power there, which if we invoke, then we will be able to see the dynamism. So electricity plus electricity's expressions, we can say is prāṇaḥ and prāṇadaḥ. Similarly, Bhagavan is there in all of us. We can call him as prana, we can call him as life, capital L-I-F-E. The most divine auspicious presence in each one of us, because of which we are able to do whatever we are doing. And what does he do? He is not just silently sitting over there and we are incapable of doing anything. No, we are capable of doing so many things. Prāṇadaḥ. He is the one who gives to us, starting from our creativity onwards. So there is a mini Brahma in us, because creativity comes into effect. So creativity, then the willing, then the wishing, then the planning, then we put in effort, we enter into the field of activity, etc., etc. So therefore the Lord is there. He is the one who gives. The prana plus the prāṇadaḥ. The means both. The means one who gives. He is the one within us who gives to us the creative. Gifts are all there in each one of us. Talents are there. All our talents are God's gifts. Gurudev used to say, it is all gifts that have been given to us by the Lord. Therefore, we should use them properly. All of them in His service, in His seva. Through the world, of course. So every talent that we have, whatever gift we have, the creativity that we have in us, who gives to us the prana that is there in us gives to us. And then we go. And also the means one who takes away, one who breaks away also. So He is the one who has brought forth the creation. He is the one who makes sure that everything is maintained. And finally everything will merge back into at the time of dissolution, pralaya. But what about us? When we wake up in the morning, we become very creative. So prana gives to us the capacity and the capability and the ability to do whatever we want to do. Creativity. Then we go through everything, maintenance, nurturing, nourishing, all our life's transactions. And finally, when we go off to sleep at night, in our deep sleep, what has happened? A laya has happened. Everything, the external world, the physical external world, our body activities, our mental activities, and our intellectual activities have all folded up within us. A temporary laya has happened to them because they are no more working, they are no more performing. So every day, just like Brahma, the creator, goes through Srishti, I mean, when we say the creation happens, then it gets maintained, and then finally a pralaya happens. A great deluge will happen. That is happening at a mini level in all of us every day. So when we wake up, Srishti. Then the whole day Sthiti. And then how we are performing is different during our Sthiti time. The whole day's transaction. That is why they say, have a good day. Have a good day means whatever you do, may it bring to you your own welfare and well-being, and along with that everybody else's welfare and well-being, because we are connected with things and beings. And finally, when we go off to deep sleep, today night when we are going off to deep sleep, when we go off to sleep, what is happening? A mini laya is happening to all of us. Who is the one who makes sure that all these things are happening? Lord is the one who is making it all happen, not we all. So prāṇaḥ, prāṇadaḥ. Then the next word is praṇavaḥ. Pranava means Om, we know that. So why is Brahman or Paramatma or Atman or the Self called as Pranava Omkara? Sanat Kumara said there's a declaration saying all the devatas means not only the devatas who are supposed to be in the heaven. We all become devatas when we have sattvic qualities in us. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks about it. Sura Sampat and Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat. He talks about both over there. So if we all have the divine estate in us, the good qualities in us, we are all devatas only. But supposing we have all the bad qualities in us, then what sampat, what wealth do we carry with us? Asuric sampat is there with us. The 16th chapter, Bhagavan enumerates for us this. So therefore, all good people, noble people, virtuous people, sattvic people, our saints, sages, all those who are on the spiritual path, along with the devatas, all of them glorify Him, the Self who can't be described and defined. Therefore, He is termed as Pranava. That's one meaning. Also, when we want to invoke the Lord, Saguna is easy for us. Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Devi, Ganesha, Hanumanji, Kartikeya, so many are there. Nama, name is there. Nama, Rupa is there. Pranava. So, Sanat Kumara of the four Kumaras, he declares that Brahman or the Atman or the Self is designated as Pranava. Pranava means Omkar for us, because everybody adores and glorifies Him. So it's meaningful and purposeful for us to glorify and invoke the Lord, glorify Him, praise Him, adore Him. If we sit and glorify and adore anybody else, it's not going to serve our purpose. Annamacharya has written a very beautiful kirtan. He says, having been born as a human being, why do you go about glorifying and adoring and praising human beings? It just is not going to serve your purpose at all. Maybe for that time, okay. Maybe for a few days or maybe for a year, 2 years. Afterwards, we know what will happen. Instead of that, why don't you adore and why don't you praise and glorify and invoke the Lord? Then our life will become purposeful and meaningful. So that factor, which is there, all-pervading factor within us and outside of us, which alone needs to be glorified and praised and adored and worshipped, is the Lord, Brahman, the Atman. And therefore, according to Sanat Kumara, he is addressed as or designated as Pranava. That's what it means. And what does Pranava stand for? It stands for that symbol Om, Omkara, we say. Om is made up of 3 matras, A, U, Ma, not full aksharas. It's A, U, Ma, half. And when they are joined in that particular sequence, A, then U should come, then Ma should come, not any other way. When we chant it, then what we hear outside is Om over there. So therefore, why these 3 only matras have been taken? Why A, U, Ma only have been taken? Why not any other alphabet has been taken? And why only in this particular sequence they are all posted in that order, A, then U, and then Ma. And then together when we chant, that Om sound will come out. So therefore, why is it that only these 3 are taken and put in this sequence only? What does it convey to us? What does it indicate to us? The Mandukya Upanishad very elaborately talks about it. It's a brief, short Upanishad, but it's a it's little difficult, and it talks about Om Upasana, Om meditation over there. So when a person wants to meditate on the Lord Nirguna aspect, they hold on to Om. Om also is a symbol, but it is not a symbol like Rama, Krishna, Shiva, etc., where the form is very vivid, evident for all of us. We see the Lord in our own image, Rama or Krishna or Shiva or Devi. That's why we call it a Saguna, Guna Sahita. This is Nirguna. But even over there, the 3, the A, the U and the Ma have been, they've been used in that particular order. And what do they indicate? The teacher in the Mandukya Upanishad elaborates on that. So when we put them all together and try to read the suggestiveness and the significance behind A, U, Ma and then Om in its entirety, we will see, or we will find that everything has been included. Nothing has been excluded. All inclusive, nothing excluded. It shows to us the very all-pervasiveness of Paramatma, Brahman. Because why everything has been included over there, nothing has been left out. If nothing has been left out, then everything the Lord must have pervaded everything. Everything must be in Him and He is in everything. So that is what Om represents. Om is not God. Om is not Brahman. Om represents and suggests to us Brahman. We should realize. It's like it is a symbol. When we have a picture of Om and we are meditating, yes, it's a symbol for our eyes. And through our eyes, it's a symbol for the mind. Some people would like to take the sound of Om and meditate on that. Then Om becomes a sound symbol over there. Through our ears, the mind is connecting to Om. And what does Om represent? Om represents Brahman. Om represents Paramatma. Because it is so all-inclusive, nothing excluded, all our mantras, they say attach Om. Because primarily Lord is nameless, formless, attributeless. So when we are taking to the mantras which we are very familiar with, Shiva mantra or Vishnu mantra, any mantra, Vasudeva's mantra, Devi's, any mantra, it suggests to us a Saguna aspect. How did the Saguna come? Saguna is manifested form of the Lord. So before manifestation, He must be in His unmanifest form. That is represented by Om. Therefore, we attach Om to all the mantras. And just Om mantra is extremely powerful. The vibrations that are set up or created by Om chanting, just Om chanting, are extremely powerful. Not only powerful, they clean up the entire atmosphere outside and inside of us. It's it's a very powerful technique of reaching to the Lord, the mortal reaching the state of immortality. So Bhagavan is Pranava, pṛthuḥ. Pṛthuḥ also means expanded, all pervasive. Just like the Nama Vishnu of the Lord represents His all pervasive nature. He pervades everything, pervades and permeates. In the smallest of the tiniest particle also he is there. That's why we call it God particle. So he is permeated, he is gone inside of it, and he pervades from outside also. All the 14 worlds, all the worlds are within him. That is the meaning of all pervasiveness. So where is he not? He is everywhere. That's the meaning of pṛthuḥ. Another meaning of pṛthuḥ is, in our Bhagavad Puran, there is a king whose name is pṛthuḥ. Normally, when we talk about the avatars of Vishnu, we narrate only 10 Dashavatars. Because these Dashavatars are important to us. All are important, but still these 10. For whatever reason, 10 of them have been picked up, and we call them as Dashavatars. But the Bhagavad suggests to us that Bhagavan has taken up more avatars than 10. I think there are 20 plus avatars which have been indicated in Bhagavad Puran. One of them is pṛthuḥ. King pṛthuḥ is none other than an avatar of Lord Vishnu, a manifestation of Lord Vishnu. So here that avatar, that aspect is being brought out here. Not very well known, but still. We know Vamana Avatara, Narasimha Avatara, Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara, Matsya Kurma, all these came. But this, many of us may not be aware, but that also is Bhagavan's avatar, pṛthuḥ. Who is, it's a very interesting story over there in Bhagavad Puran. Anga Rishi was there. He did not have children. He and his wife did not have children for a very long time, and they prayed to the Lord and they got a son. The son's name was Vena, V-E-N-A. Now, for whatever reason, he turned out to be a tyrant. He was ruling over a vast kingdom. Samrajya was there. But he was a tyrant. He never accepted there is a Lord, that there is a higher. Everything I am. Just like Hiranyakashipu or Kamsa. He was a tyrant. So therefore, if we want an example of a tyrant king, Vena is the best example. Bhagavad deals with what all atrocities he did. So what happens? As we are, so is nature. Nature is nothing but a reflection of our own mind. And he is a king. King reflects everybody's mind because collective it is. King stands for all his subjects, all his people. So when he was like that, nature also reciprocated. Not that nature wants to do anything wrong to us or bad to us, but it's just a reflection of us. So we all as a population, we all as a community, if all of us turn out to be wrong, take to the path of adharma, nature will reflect back that only. Nature is like a mirror. When we go and stand in front of the mirror, mirror will honestly reflect however we are. So if we have not, let's say, combed or groomed our hair, it will show. We can't blame the mirror for it. Nature also is like a honest mirror. She will reflect back whatever is there in front of her. So if a whole population is corrupt, vulgar, bad, nature will reflect that back to us. So when Vena was like this, everything became, the Mother Earth stopped yielding, no rains. Because nature has to give to us. Yajñāt bhavati parjanyaha. When we do yajna, the rains will come. 3rd chapter, Bhagavad Gita says that yajna doesn't mean only homa. Then all of us can sit and do a homa and then we can, invoke the rains over there. Yajna means all our activities are done in the form of a yajna. Every day-to-day simple activity of ours, materialistic also, it should all be done like a yajna. So collectively, when all of our work has become worship, nature will reflect it back to us. And whatever is needed for all of us, it will come to us. How it is given to us is different. So basically, for all of us to survive, we need food. How will food will be there? Rains have to come. Then only Mother Earth can bring forth everything to us. So rain stopped, agriculture stopped, Mother Earth sort of literally, it's a very beautiful dramatization over there. She pulled back or withheld, we are told, whatever she could give. What does she give to us? She gives to us food, dhanya, everything she will, not that she wanted to, but this is what happened. So everybody was very angry, the rishis were angry, the virtuous people were angry with this king Vena, and finally it was they all cursed him. Now curse is not something that one opens the mouth and says, that is also one. But when somebody starts hurting us, humiliating us, abusing us at all levels, that comes to us and gets reflected back to that person. So person need not open the mouth and say, you did something bad to me, therefore I curse you, or may this happen to you. Need not. We shouldn't do it. Whatever negativity and bad, vicious, ignoble has come from that side, it will get reflected back to that person. That itself is the biggest curse for that person. We say karma will take its, turn, its course. So therefore we are told, because it's a story form, that everybody cursed him and he died. When Vena died, there is nobody now to look after the entire kingdom. So therefore, what should happen? They all consulted each other. And then they said, out of this Vena's, he is no more, just dead over there. From him, we are told, rose a very effulgent divine being. We can again, how can from a dead body something which is alive come out? If a dead body is not cremated, either buried or consigned to the flame, worms will come out of it. Worms are alive, they are with life. From where did they come? They came from a dead body. So from dead body also life can come out. Therefore, from the highest standpoint, even a dead body has got life in the sense it's not functioning like any other ordinary person. Not talking, it can't hear, it can't move, it's just lying down dead there. It's not breathing in and breathing out, but it still has life in it. The Pancha Mahabhutas are nothing but Bhagavan himself. Permutation and combination of the Pancha Mahabhutas is the dead body, physical dead body which we are seeing. It still has life in quotes. Therefore, from life can come out. So we have to read in between the lines when we read these stories. So we are told they churned. It's a way of, because when we churn, something comes out. So all of them with appropriate mantras churned. What did they churn? We are told they churned the shoulders of this dead king Vena. Why the shoulders? Kshatriya, the shoulders stand for Kshatriya. Bhujabala we say. Should be very strong, physically very strong. And he wields weapons only with his hand, and the hands will get their strength and power only from the shoulders. So therefore they churned the shoulders of this dead king Vena, and out of that came a very beautiful being, divine being, and he became the king. That king's name was Pṛthuḥ. Who is he? He is none other than the avatar of Vishnu. There are so many chapters only on this king Pṛthuḥ in the Bhagavad. What a glorious, noble king he was. Contrast to Vena. Why are all these stories given to us? They are all over there suggesting to us. It's not just a story. It's not only good values that we have to inculcate. For everybody there is a lesson. How a king should be. How a leader should be. We can see in the glories of King Pṛthuḥ over there. So there is a vast description over there, glorification of King Pṛthuḥ. Now he saw that everybody was in trouble, and the most important thing we need is food. Everything can come afterwards, but if food is not there, we can't survive. We know that. Therefore, he looked up to Mother Earth. She is not yielding anything. He became very angry, Pṛthuḥ. He took up his bow, fixed an arrow to it, and he said, I am going to now, shoot the arrow. Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi, if you don't yield whatever you have withdrawn into you. Immediately she came up, because she is none other than his own consort. Vishnu's consort is Bhudevi. Mother Earth took on a form and she came in front of him and said, this is not the way to do. Now that you are the king and everything is back to normal, now I will give everything. What do you want? I will give to you. He said, you gave everything. I want everything now. So very beautifully she says, I will become a cow. See this cow aspect over there. Cow is mother. It opens its mouth and it says Amma, it says. No language. But then what does that mean? Amma means mother. So it's teaching us also. Matrudevo Bhava. I mean, there are so many aspects why we adore and worship and revere and respect the cow. We won't go into the details of it. Mother Earth became a cow. She said, I will become a cow. Kamadhenu I will become. Kamadhenu means whatever you want, you can take from me. You can milk from me. These are all, again, we must read in between the line. Because the cow, when we milk, only milk will come out. But Kamadhenu can give anything to us. So it's more the suggestiveness rather than the word meaning over there. So she told the king, get a person to milk, get a milkman who can suitably milk me. I will become the cow. And the milk text quality and quantity will be very good only when the calf is there. So make sure that there is a calf also in front of me. And then you can milk anything that you want from me. So he said, Pṛthuḥ said, I will become the milkman. And for human beings now he wants. What does he want? First he wants food for everybody. So he asked Manu, first, we are told Manu was the first human being and the best of human beings. He is the one who gave the code, the do's and the don'ts for human beings. Manusmriti is there. So Manu was brought in as the calf and he milked. And what did he milk? He didn't milk anything for himself. He could have asked for riches, he could have asked for property, he could have asked for anything else. What is it that people want? Basically, they want food. All the herbs, we are told. In our tradition, food is likened to medicine. Aushadha. Aushadha means not actually the food, the nutritive aspect in the food is called Aushadha. Food is medicine. The concept is so beautiful if we just sit down and think about it. So we are told when he milked, all the medicinal herbs came out. Medicinal herbs means all the dhanyas. Agriculture came back to normal. So he got whatever he wanted. Everybody was very, very happy. And then Mother Earth said, not only that, Mother will always give what we want plus little extra. That is Mother. So therefore, Mother Earth said, you have taken whatever you wanted, but now I am still there, Kamadhen. Let all people, whatever they want, starting from the Devatas, Sura to Asuras, anybody can come and then milk whatever they want from me. Take anything what they want from me. That is motherhood, motherliness over there. Cow represents that. And our mother also represents. That's why Matrudevo Bhava first. So we are told, it's very beautiful. So Manu came, then what came? There's a big list over there. I'm not going to go into the details of all those things, but we are told Indra came, and what did Indra came as the calf. Mother Earth is the cow. Indra became the calf. Pṛthuḥ is the milkman. What did they want? They wanted Amrita. What all they want? So he got Amrita. Human beings already have got whatever they wanted. And then Suras, I am going to the opposite of that, Asuras, Rakshasas. They all brought in Prahlada. Amongst the Rakshasas, Bhagavan says, amongst the Rakshasas, I am Prahlada. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, Vibhutiyo. So the best is brought. The best of the Devatas, Indra. The best of the human being, Manu. Best of the Rakshasa Kula, Prahlada. Prahlada became the calf. Mother Earth again is the cow. And what did they want? What did they want? They wanted everything that is intoxicating. Because they are all very lusty people. So whatever they wanted, milked out. Then the birds, they wanted. What do they want? They want their food. The worms, the small, whatever is their food. So they made Garuda the calf, and Pṛthuḥ milked out whatever food the winged creatures require in their life. So that then the herbivorous animals, those who eat grass, the cow, the bullocks, the sheep, the deer, the giraffe, those animals which eat grass. So they all came over here. They wanted their food. So who was made the calf? Nandi, who is the vehicle of Lord Shiva, became the calf, and pṛthuḥ milked grass. Means the food for all the animals which eat grass. Like that, so many list is there in the Bhagavat. Then the snakes came. We are told the lowermost Sloka, the snakes, that is the domain of the snakes. They all came together and they made Takshaka, the calf. And what will snakes want? They'll want nothing but poison. So poison was milked out from Mother Earth. The extremes over there. Nothing is impossible. If Amrita can be brought out, poison also can be brought out. Both of them have their place in the Lord's creation. Asuras have their place, the Suras have their place. Of course, we human beings have our own place. So like that, there is a very beautiful list over there, and we are told everybody finally got what they wanted. So like I said earlier, the glories of King Pṛthuḥ has been very elaborately mentioned in the Bhagavad Purana. And then what does he do? He ruled for a sufficiently long time, this king, and also then he advises his own subjects how we all people, Praja, should be. So therefore there is a lesson for us also through Bhagavan over there in the avatar of Pṛthuḥ. How should we all be as citizens? How should we all be as a community, as a society, as an individual? Is it only I take care of myself and then maybe my little family, an extension of me? Or is there my duty and responsibility to a larger family, which we call it the community, society? Yes, there is. So he beautifully advises his own subjects and citizens also. That also is there. All these, the Purana, Ramayana also. Dasharatha has been glorified. It shows how a king should be. Rama has been glorified when Dasharatha wants to make Rama sit on the throne. Before he goes to the forest, he asks the people. And all the people say, we want Rama. Do you want Rama? Yes, they say. He asks them, why is it that you want Rama to be seated on the throne when I am still there? Tell me, he says. So all of them give out the virtues and the glories of Rama. So indirectly it's a message for all of us. Message for a leader and message for all of us also. And then there is a chapter over there about Ayodhya, the city, and the people living in the city. How should a city be? How should the environment be? How should the people be? What is it that they should do and what is it that they should not be doing? All these things are there in our epics, in our Puranas. So lots of things for us to learn apart from just the story over there. We normally go through only the story. So Pṛthuḥ, Hiraṇyagarbhaḥ had earlier come. Hiranya means gold, Garbha means womb seated. So Hiranyagarbha, gold means all creative possibilities, all assets, everything is there in him, in his womb. Not literally, but in him. And therefore he gives out everything to us. So Hiranyagarbhaḥ, śatrughnō. Gna means to kill, to destroy, to annihilate. Shatru means enemies. So therefore śatrughnō, one of the brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Śatrughnō. One who is capable of destroying all enemies, outside and inside. Outside enemies can be easily killed. What about the inner enemies? The inner Ramayana will talk about all of them. We need a Śatrughnō within us to be able to destroy all the negative, the bad qualities in us. They won't easily go away from us. So if we need a Śatrughnō out there to fight the enemies outside, we need a Śatrughnō inside to fight the enemies within. Who is it? Bhagavan himself. He is Śatrughnō for the outside enemies, outer enemies, and he is Śatrughnō for our inner enemies. Without his grace, we can't move away from tamas, rajas to sattva. Without His grace, we cannot move away so easily from the path of adharma to the path of dharma. We need His grace and blessings to make us good. So when we say I am very good, I am honest and all those things, I have all these good qualities in us, Lord's grace. He is the one who was seated inside us and destroyed all the enemies inside. And therefore we are whatever we are. So śatrughnō, vyāptō, all pervading, this we have gone through. Everything exists in Him. Matta parataram na anyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. 7th chapter, Bhagavan says, nothing exists apart from me. Other than me, there is nothing, Bhagavan says. Why? I pervade and permeate everything. Even in 0.00001% of space and time is there, which is not in Him, or in which He is not there. Vyāptam. He alone is. In Him only everything got created. In Him only everything is being sustained and maintained. And finally into Him only everything will go, dissolve away. Vyāptō, Vāyuh, we have been seeing all cosmic phenomenal forces. Bhagavan is identifying with all of them. They're all nothing but Him. It's an office, it's a status. So when we talk about the air aspect, moving air or static, Vayu. When we talk about the water, it becomes Varuna Bhagavan. When we talk about fire, he becomes Agni Bhagavan. So Vayu is one of the Panchamahabhutas. So all these 5, their permutation and combination is the entire world of things and beings. Micro to macro, big, gross to subtle. So all of them, Vayu is most needed. So therefore Bhagavan says, I am Vayu, he said. Not just the air, not the oxygen and the nitrogen and the carbon dioxide and all that, not only that. But he says, when we say Vayu, Mukhya Prana, we've already gone through it. He is the life-giving force for us, which gives to us aliveness. Some things we feel are all inert, insentient. Our nails, we feel they are dead because when we cut the nails, we don't feel the pain. But even in that, there is aliveness. A living person's nails and a dead person's nails are different from each other. Why? Their life has gone away. Nails are not alive. They don't have aliveness. But our nails have aliveness. So in that sense, Vāyuradhōkṣajaḥ, one who is always looking up, turned, facing upward. Facing upward doesn't mean Bhagavan is just looking up like that. All energies which are related to him are positive. There is no going down over there at all. Achyuta, we went through that. Chuti means fall. Fall means from a higher level, obviously, to a lower level. In him, there is nothing like going from higher to lower. It is always moving. It is moving forward and upward. That is what Bhagavan represents for all of us. Adokṣajaḥ. At no time does his vitality go down. At no time is his energy going down. Going down means negative we are talking about. Never ever can it happen over. So Achyuta we went through, Vaikuṇṭhaḥ we went through. When there is a fall, it just doesn't mean only a fall. Flaws, defects, limitations, conditioning, all of them mean lower. Bhagavan says, I am not the lower at all, I am the higher. And finally he says, I am neither higher nor lower, I am beyond both. First he says to make us understand. 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the entire realm of the world of plurality, multiplicity, which is made up of the 5 great elements, gross, subtle, their combination. Bhagavan says that is my lower self. And apart from that, other than this, exists my higher self. What is it? Jiva, life. Just now we went through prāṇaḥ. I am the one who gives aliveness to everything and every being. Aliveness. Life. Then he says, beyond the two I am, he says. Neither I am the lower nor I am the higher. I am beyond the two. But to make us understand, he says, yes, two. 15th chapter of the Gita also he says, Dvavimau puruṣaḥ loke. I myself, I am two. two puruṣas, he said, Kshara and Akshara, the change and the changeless, the realm of change and the changeless. Both I am, Kshara and Akshara. And he says, beyond the two, I am the Purushottama. So different words used to communicate the same thing to all of us. So Vyāradhōkṣajaḥ means one who never, there is no coming down for him at all. He comes down, that is avatarana. Why? For our sakes. To annihilate adharma, to bring up dharma, and to reinstall it back. For that sake, yes, sometimes he comes down. But he comes down of his own choice, willingly come. He's not like any of us. But still we say avatarana means coming down. That is an exceptional case. But Bhagavan never ever, there is no coming down at all. There is no fall for him. Where will he fall? To where? When he is all pervading, when something is on the upper floor and something is not there on the lower floor, the same thing, we can put it from a higher level to a lower level. We are there, let's say in the first floor, we are not now existing on the ground floor. Therefore, we can move through a flight of steps from the upper floor to the lower floor, because we don't simultaneously exist in both the floors. But for one who is existing everywhere, where is the question of fall for him? And it is always higher. Spiritual path will always make us go up. Whereas everything else materialistic can bind us, can pull us down and tie us down. But when it comes to the path of spirituality, when it comes to the path of dharma, it's always uplifting. It's always upward moving, never downward moving. And that is represented by the term Vyāradhōkṣajaḥ. So with this we have finished with the 44th stanza. The 45th stanza we will take it up in the next class.